Hi there, I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor and welcome to Coffee and Crypto. This is your one-stop destination for all things crypto, also the place where we decrypt this very fascinating world of cryptocurrency for you. Okay, I have on the program for you today. The RBI is very soon going to start circulating India's digital currency, the CBDC. Now, if you don't know what that is, you tuned into just the right place. Let's start by telling you what is CBDC. Is it, and questions often come, is it another coin? Is it another token? Is it really a blockchain? Well, CC will break down CBDC for you. Too many abbreviations over there. Anyways, let's get started. And for that, for our explainer to tell you all you need to know about India's digital currency, let's go to our coffee wall. Alright, so many questions about digital currency, how India is going to formulate that as well. We will begin with the basics. Alright, what does CBDC even stand for? It stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. Essentially, it's a currency in digital form. But unlike crypto, it's not decentralized. There is no public registry for it. This is digital currency issued and controlled by the central bank of the country. In India's case, it's the RBI. So essentially, it's like your regular rupee note. It's like how, oh Lord, nobody carries cash these days. I totally sort of slipped that. Oh, thanks Sana for that. That's our producer, by the way, that's Sana. Thanks so much. So it's like cash. Does not look like this. It is just something that will work exactly like this note. Alright, but the digital form is basically as good as cash, but it is even one step better. Let's tell you how. Alright, let's tell you, for one, the RBI won't actually need to physically print cash and ensure that it reaches places and reducing dependence on actually transporting, carrying cash around as well. Now, I know you're thinking this sounds just like online transactions, right? Like your Paytm, UPI, etc., etc. Valid question. We'll tell you the difference between that in just a minute. Let's get back to the advantages and how this is one step further from that. Second advantage with this is of digital currency that a payment once made is traceable, is final. So the settlement is of course clear and easy. Third advantage with digital currency is that it makes international payments and exchanges even easier. Like, why should it be taking you 2 days to properly get through a payment from Mumbai to New York? Well, digital currency can help in overcoming challenges like time zones, difference in exchanges, forex, etc. Basically, if you're like me, sitting and calculating, converting every time you shop from an international portal or you're in an international holiday, when we used to have international holidays, that is, thinking every time how much does it cost in Indian rupees, well, digital currency comes to your rescue as it will show you the price in rupees in real time. Now, we know that RBI is not going to issue it via airdrop randomly, right? There will be a phase-wise manner in which it will be rolled out. There will be targeted users as well. And a pilot project is starting, CC is learning, by December of this year itself. Now, those are the basics. Having understood that, let's move to how is digital currency actually different from any other form of online payment. Options like Paytm, UPI, etc. Well, the most important difference is mobile wallets like Paytm, UPI need to be connected with a bank account from which the money is transacted over internet using smartphones. Now, you can't set up a Google Play account, for example, without linking it to your bank account. But when we talk about digital currency, it doesn't necessarily need to be linked to a bank account to hold it. Got that? Well, this essentially means that your mobile device can be converted into a wallet by itself. So this is very similar to how crypto works. And this, my friends, is one of the simple factors why that it will actually bring the entire unbanked population of India on record as well. Besides, of course, modernizing the banking sector and helping us legitimately, move towards a cashless economy. Yes, this is very similar to crypto, but not exactly. Let's tell you how. First, as I said, unlike crypto, this will be centralized, regulated by a central bank. Second, a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin is finite, it's hard capped, at about 21 million coins there. In fact, in just a decade from now, 97% of bitcoins are likely to have been mined already. Whereas when it comes to CBDC, it can be infinitely increased. Third, and the biggest differentiator really, is the tech between how crypto works and how digital currency will work as well. The government is still working out the details, so we'll get to hear more from them later. Now, this brings us to the point where we understand why the government is pitching CBDC as an alternative to crypto. Now, cryptocurrencies are becoming very popular, right? Not just across the globe, but in India as well. In fact, we'll tell you how exactly popular is crypto in India in the second part of the program as well, so stay tuned for that. But we will also tell you how governments across the globe now want to tap on to this popularity. Now, bringing in digital currency, experts say, could actually satisfy a population which is itching to be part of this digital revolution, while also maintaining a central economy. Also, governments cannot monitor or track all cash transactions, right? Now, with this, everything, all transactions actually come on record. Also, however, governments don't just bring in accountability, regulations and taxes when they talk about digital currency. For example, governments also get the power to freeze a specific wallet overnight, something that cannot be done in a crypto space at all. So that's pretty much all you need to know about digital currency. But of course, I cannot end this explainer without actually mentioning China in all of this. Now, China, whose digital currency, the digital one, has already hit the markets. Some firms in China have started paying employees in digital currency as well. The People's Bank of China is one of the first central banks to develop and push for CBDC, giving the government power to track spending real time, and also importantly, allowing financial surveillance by the Chinese government. Interestingly, this at a time when China is implementing its toughest ever crackdown on crypto. So I leave it for you to decide what you will deduce from that one.